Every music producer hits a point where they feel like they want to quit, whether that's because of burnout, lots of rejection, or feeling stuck. But what separates the ones that make it from the ones that don't is their ability to push through when times get tough. So in this video, I'm breaking down how to become a master at not quitting so that you can keep your music career alive and thriving even when it feels impossible. The inspiration behind this video comes from James Hype. I recently watched one of his YouTube videos where he said something that really stuck with me. He said becoming a successful music producer or DJ isn't about talent. And this is because most skills can be learned if you stay committed to them long enough. And he argues the same point that what sets successful music producers apart is usually their ability to keep going. And this is the real game changer. It's not about how talented you think other producers are, it's about perseverance. And the aim is to be in that top 1% of producers that are still going when all the other ones quit. So how do we keep going when progress feels slow, when your streams are low, when record labels are rejecting you? Let me share my 3 tips to help you push through and stay on track. And if you find these next tips useful, then come join my channel for more content like this. Okay, so the first tip is really nice and simple, and it's to take a break. Sometimes we think the only way to move forward is to keep grinding, but most of the time that just makes things feel worse. I recently had a period where I made a load of content, I posted it all out, I released a song that I'd been building up to for a little while, and after it I felt pretty drained. I was really excited about everything, but I was just like, I was pretty knackered, and I was trying to make a new song, I tried to start a new project, and it just wasn't working for me. Nothing felt like it was flowing. So that weekend I actually took a quick trip to London and I hung out with some friends, and honestly it was exactly what I needed. Stepping away from the studio for a short period of time can really help to bring fresh perspectives and to help you recharge a little bit. And when you come back, you often feel like you've got new energy and new clarity to help work without feeling super drained. And that's what happened to me. I came back to the studio and I've now finished that song that I was struggling with before, and I'm going to release it at the end of the month. So just a short break made a world of difference. The second thing you can do is reconnect with the music that you love to make. When you're feeling stuck, it's really easy to drift away from the things that originally inspired you. So taking a dive back into the sounds, genres, or inspiration that made you want to start making music in the first place can really help you regain some focus in the studio. Whether that's listening to an old track that you've always loved, for me that's Strobe by deadmau5, or maybe you found a new style that you've been listening to recently. For me that's Leave's remix of You by Lane 8. Or reconnecting with your roots and what really inspired you to start making music in the first place. For me, there's multiple areas that inspire my production, but one of them is definitely trips with my wife to different areas of the Mediterranean where we love to go. We love photography, so we take our cameras and just go and explore. So sometimes before I get in the studio to start producing, I'll look through some of these photos, or there's a video we quite like on YouTube called Mediterranean in 4K. Sometimes I just play a little bit of that just to get myself in the zone. And the simple aim here is to reignite that passion and creativity for your music. When you're feeling bogged down, it can sometimes feel hard to be motivated or inspired, so you can use some of these techniques to just try and reconnect with those inspirations, and that'll hopefully translate into when you're trying to be creative in the studio. Okay, and I've saved the best till last because it's probably the most simple one out of all 3, but it's the one that really helps me to get through these tough times. And it's simply remembering that if you push through the tough moments, you're getting one step closer to success. Like we said, the music industry is not a game of talent, it's a game of resilience and who can keep going for the longest, just like James Hype. The industry unfortunately is full of people that over time will give up when things get too tough. But I can't say it enough, it's the producers and DJs that keep going when others feel like quitting. They're the ones that are going to be more successful. And that's because if you keep going, your production and your music is going to get better, your branding is going to get better, and you're going to be the person that always shows up, and the audience that are out there are going to recognize that, and eventually it's your music that's going to get streamed, it's your records that are going to get signed, and that's because your audience and the record labels will see that you're serious about this, and they'll be able to rely on you showing up every time. And then they'll get to know you, and then they'll be anticipating your next song. If you do a gig, they'll want to book some tickets, and you can see how this can just snowball over time. So remember this, every time that you move past that point of frustration, or past that point where you feel like you want to quit, you're moving one step closer to that 1% of producers that actually make it. And if you're thinking that 1% are people like David Guetta or James Hype, Fred again, who are right at the top of their game, just remember there's tons of music producers out there that aren't at that level, that are actually really successful and doing really well. So I know it takes time, but just by keeping going, there's no reason you can't build your music project into something great. This concept alone sometimes for me is enough to get me through any hurdle that I'm facing. But if you feel like you need a little bit of an extra push, then just go out there and try and find some inspirational videos, or just come back and watch this video every time you get stuck. I'd love to hear how you face up to some of the challenges that we face in the music industry, so let me know in the comments if there's anything that helps you, because I might be able to bring it into some of these videos and share with other people. Have a good day, and I'll catch you on the next video.